start out saying it's great to be here with Mary and a lot of my family. Y'all on the front row, wave at everybody over there. But I brought the star of my ad, Mason Brown. Mason, come up here for a minute. People have asked me, said, who caught the most fish? We did. This guy's a great fisherman. It's an honor and it's a pleasure to be able to live in Mississippi and spend some time with your grandson. Mason, thank you for being such a great guy. And thank you, grandson. You know, I told him I wouldn't embarrass him. You know, every year, the year is an exciting year. And this year is really exciting because I see a lot of reporters here, and it's an election year, you know. And I love being your insurance commissioner. So what I like about being your insurance commissioner, let me give you an example. When you get a call from someone that says, Commissioner, my mom died last year. She had an insurance policy. We can't find it. We know she paid on it for years and then she quit paying. We don't know if she has anything or not. Can you help? And I say, let me see what I can do. I call my guys at the consumer. They look around. 2 days later, they call and say, we found you $100,000. That's what it's about, helping people. I enjoy the job and challenges of serving this great state and citizens. My goal is to make the state a safer and better place to live for present and future generations like my grandchildren and your grandchildren here in the state of Mississippi. When I served in Vietnam, we faced a lot of life-changing challenges every day of the week, just like we do at the insurance department, and we met them head on. I take that same approach in my everyday life. And as your insurance commissioner, I'm not afraid to tackle the tough problems that are coming up in this office and the issues that we have to address. I fought for you and I will continue to fight for you. Since 2008, the department has returned to consumers over $22 million in insurance fraud collections. And we've returned $150 million, administered the return of that to guarantee funds in the Franco fraud case that was first brought up in 1999 here at this fair. Early this year, I got a call from a person I knew in the Delta. He said that his parents' house had burned. His mom was fine, but his dad was in the burn center. He said, Mike, I went to the insurance agent that supposedly wrote the insurance on their home. He had not written an insurance policy. He had pocketed the money, and he doesn't even have a license to sell insurance. You pulled it in 2012. He said, we've lost everything. Is there anything that you can do? I said, Brett, let me look at it. We went back, and we found that this family had borrowed a little money from the bank, didn't owe very much, and by the grace of God, the bank had placed them in the lender insurance program because they couldn't find the agent, couldn't find a policy either. And we were able to get, long story short, $230,000 for that family. Now, that's what it's about. Now, on the lighter side, I think they might vote for me. I'm not sure about that, but I think they might. There are over 100,000 licensed agents in this state, and 99.99% of them are honest, fair agents. The problem is you always have one or two bad apples in the bunch. And what we've been able to do is to get the legislature to give us the authority to go out and arrest agents that commit fraud. That is a big deal for us. You want to be certain that people that you're dealing with are honest and fair. Now let me tell you what, the agent's the one that's caught in the middle between the insurance company and the department and trying to take care of the consumer out there. They're the ones that are the first line defense for the consumers, and it's important that you have a fair agency and you have good agents in the state, and that's what we try to do is to regulate them. I deal with an array of complicated issues at the department. Everything from an actuarial opinion, an examination of financial records, to monitoring federal programs like cybercrime, cybersecurity. You know about the 90 million records that were stolen from Antietam? It's a big deal to us if you lose your Social Security information, that you lose your information that's been critical to your success and for you to have credit to live in this society. We're always dealing with Washington. We deal with things like FIO, the Federal Insurance Office, FEMA, the National Flood Insurance Program. It is a tough deal. So what you've got to do is you've got to deal with Washington head on. Economic development and jobs in this state depend upon having a fair, regulated insurance business. Now think about this. Most people don't think about insurance until they need it. But if you can't insure a project, you cannot go to a bank and borrow money and start a project. And if you don't have a project or a business, you don't have jobs. If you don't have jobs, you don't have an economy. When it comes to overseeing the department, given the choice between someone who knows what they're doing and someone who doesn't have the experience, I think you want to choose experience in someone that knows what they're doing over someone that does not know what they're doing. Now, I don't regulate federal programs like Medicare supplements, federal health exchange. I don't regulate the National Flood Insurance Program known as NFIP, but I monitor them to take care of the consumers of this state. Back in 2013, in the late part of 2013, some 70,000 Mississippians with flood insurance policies faced draconian rate increases from the federal flood program under FEMA. Some Mississippians on the coast actually lost their home. FEMA refused to listen to reasons. We saw rates go from $500 a year to $15,000 to $20,000 a year. When I asked the Attorney General to sue FEMA for the rate increases, he refused. I chose to intervene and protect our state against the unjustified rate increases from this NFIP program, and I helped get the law changed and roll the rates back to protect the Gulf Coast and the people of this state. One of my main efforts since I've taken office has been to reduce the number of fire deaths in the state. We've done this and reduced fire rate deaths 38%. We used to be the highest in the nation per capita. How did we do that? We concentrated on education. We gave away or installed over 52,000 smoke alarms. And by the way, we have a trailer back behind the post office. Go visit it. You can learn a lot about how to prevent fire deaths in this state. These smoke alarms have given us hope that we can keep continuing reducing fire deaths in the state. There's no question that having a working smoke alarm can help save a life. 9 out of 10 deaths that we look at from fire-related causes are people that have no working smoke alarm in their home. And the homes that do have them, we're not certain that the batteries work. So go out and save a life. I hope everybody in here has a smoke alarm in the house. I'm also responsible for training 16,000 plus firemen, volunteers and paid firemen at the State Fire Academy, the best in the United States and the first responders for the state. We have about 13,000 volunteer firemen in the state of Mississippi. You know, if you had to pay them, it would cost the state $500 million a year. So it's important to know that those people who risk their life to save somebody's life they don't know are unpaid heroes. They are real heroes. For the last 6 years, from this podium, I've mentioned healthcare issues. Now, if you've seen my campaign ad, you know what I think about Obamacare. Mason and I thought the fishing was a lot better. Now, we've worked hard and nonstop to keep up with this program since I've taken office, and it's become the law. I don't like it. I would have voted against it, but it is the law, and I'm sworn to uphold the law, and that's what I try to do. Personally, I hope that one day the law is repealed or fixed. But as your commissioner, I witnessed tragedies of people not getting proper health care. I witnessed the tragedies of tornadoes, hurricanes, fires, and floods. And our role at the department is to be there on the spot with first responders first, and number 2, to help the consumers if they have insurance claims. Let me give you an example of what happens. This is an actual email I got last year after the tornado up in Louisville. Good morning. I just wanted to send a little message saying thanks. Our mobile home was severely damaged in the April 2014 tornadoes that struck Winston County. If it had not been for your staff, we'd probably still be fighting with the insurance company. Thank you, and also Mr. Blakeney. If there's anything we can do up here in Plattsburgh, just let me know. Now, folks, this is what it's about to be your insurance commissioner. As your commissioner, I serve only one group, and that's the people of the state of Mississippi. People talk about transparency. This department has been named the most transparent insurance agency in the United States since 2012, and we continue to hold that distinction. And I'm proud of that accomplishment. I want to continue the work that we've started and leave Mississippi a better place than it was when I took office. And I want to continue to work towards stronger, better built homes. I want to continue the progress that we've made towards eliminating fire deaths in this state and the property damage that results from fires. I want to continue to modernize the department, to be more efficient in the work that we do, and I want to continue my efforts to attract more and better insurance companies to the state. To that avail, we've recruited over 200 new companies to write insurance in the state of Mississippi since I've been your commissioner. That means more competition, and more competition means better rates for the consumer. So many speakers have been here of note at this podium, and they've appeared here in Neshoba County, including hopefuls like Ronald Reagan. That brings me to my final point. I have been a Republican my entire life. We have the primaries coming up, and I have an opponent in the Republican primary. But I'll tell you this, I think his voting record kind of leads me to believe that he should be running in another primary. He's in the wrong primary. For example, in 2008, as a country, we were in a financial crisis. We also had a presidential election, an election that would drastically alter our country. As Mississippians, we went to the polls and voted. We had the choice to vote in the primaries as a Republican or a Democrat. I voted in the Republican primary. My opponent voted in the Democratic primary, either for Barack Obama or Hillary Clinton. So you could go ask John who he voted for. I don't know a single Republican that would have done that. Do you? So on August the 4th, vote for the real Republican, Mike Chaney. I want to be rehired. Thank you for letting me be a great part of this great congregation. It's always a pleasure for Mary and I, our family, to be here. May God bless you, the great state of Mississippi, and these United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.